is going on, all you listeners out there? Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Viall Files. Joining us today in a very special episode of Ask Nick, baby Bekah. Do I know your last name?
Can we still call her that?
Martinez.
I did know your. Yeah, you were. What's your sign then, baby Bekah? Bekah Martinez.
She has a baby. You can't call her baby Bekah.
I'm baby mama Bekah.
Do you not like the baby Bekah anymore? That's your Instagram name.
No, it's not.
No, it's just Bekah.
Oh, you just have it. You're Madonna?
What?
Did you have to buy it from someone else?
Hell yeah, I did.
How much?
$700.
Whoa!
Good. Hey, money well spent.
I wanted it so.
When you said whoa, did you say whoa like that's a lot or whoa like you got a deal?
That's a lot.
I thought it was a deal.
I think you got to steal.
Really?
I think you got to steal.
Oh.
I thought it was a deal.
Yeah.
Also, I felt good about it because it was like this. It was just like a mom in the Midwest, and she was like, I don't know, like I got this handle like the day Instagram started.
Did you have to negotiate?
Yeah.
Where'd you start?
500. And you know, she was like, but I know that this, she was so sweet. She's like, I know that this will help like you and like your business. And I was like, okay, girl, I'm glad I'm paying your bills. Like, boom.
How did you get to the how did the deal go down?
This is so funny. So I messaged her and I go like, hey, would you be interested in selling your Instagram? She goes, actually, she said, so my original
She reached
thought
out
was,
to you?
So no. I messaged her, but my original thought was I'd offer $500, right?
Okay.
So then I say, would you be interested in selling your Instagram? She goes, yeah, it's $500. And I was like, okay, great. I'll take it. Like, let's go.
She was
and
like,
then
wait.
she said back, she's like, I get like so many of these messages every day. So like, that's just what I say to people. And no one's ever said like, I'm interested. And she's like, I really have to think about this. And that's when she said like, I got this like Instagram. I don't even know if I want to give it up. And she literally like thought about it a couple days. And I think I bumped it up and I was like, how about like $700? And she like thought about it. She's like, okay.
And then once you did, like, how did you know, like, at what point did you PayPal her or Venmo her?
So,
no, I'm serious. Like, couldn't she just take the money and not do it? I don't know.
I asked her, I was like, can I PayPal you half up front? And she was like, no, like, I don't have
the full thing.
Yeah. She was like, you have like the ability to like put me on blast. She's like, but I don't have that same, like that same leverage.
Oh, so it was okay.
And so, but like we talked on the phone and we literally like were on the phone and I was like, okay, now she's like, I'm going to switch my handle. And then she switched it and then I switched mine really quick and that's how we did it.
Great.
It's kind of crazy.
Nice.
Now everyone's going to be rolling their eyes and be like, oh my God, Bekah really spent $700 on a handle.
For those of you listening and judging Bekah right now, don't. I mean, listen, like, obviously you use your platform. You've done it to support your podcast and Natural Habits.
Yes.
We thank you for that. And other,
of course.
Like, you make money from it and you're like, whatever. Like, that's actually.
Yeah, it's part of my business. So I wanted like.
And if you want to spend $700, fine. You can afford it. For those of you who's judging right now.
Write it off as a business expense.
No.
I think definitely.
That's 100% tax deductible.
And yeah, it was a great mutual exchange. Like, I'm glad I got to like support her family and we got to do a great mutually beneficial trade. Me too.
Oh, great.
Anyway.
I love your new hair, Bekah.
Thank you. I'm officially like, I feel like a real bachelor girl now that I have extensions.
You say that, and I like that you said that because it's almost, you say that with a slight bit of snark.
Of course.
Which is great.
How else would I say it?
No. So are you somewhat judging yourself because is it slightly off brand?
No, I'm not judging myself. I mean, I'm a multifaceted. Yeah, I'm a multifaceted person, and like I love to be glamorous, and I have my acrylic nails, and I also love to rock climb, and I love to have hair extensions, and I also love to like wear no makeup and not wash my hair for weeks.
Is it safe to say that sometimes you surprise even yourself?
That's the best part about being me.
And we're still doing the no hair on no shave.
I will continue to do that.
Is that for everything?
It's for a long time. And I want to continue to encourage people to like figure out why they're disgusted by that, and it's an exercise for me to like love myself.
Is it something? So you. And
I also want to normalize it for my daughter. So like I've talked about, I really grew up with like a lot of shame, like when it came to body hair. And like, if my daughter wants to shave, if she wants to wax, if she wants to do whatever the fuck, if she wants to braid her hair, I don't. Of course,
it's kind of whatever she wants to do.
I support all women's choices. I just want her to feel like I want her to see me as an example too, and be like, you know, obviously she'll look up to me and be like, I don't have to feel ashamed about the way that I look naturally. So yeah. I hope to be transparent about that kind of thing with her.
Well, that's fun. Well, we appreciate you joining.
Of course.
We're doing this new thing. We're bringing the occasional former guest back on.
Yeah, thank you for having
help
me.
Us ask some questions.
Of course.
Answer some questions.
How are you and Grayson doing?
Grace Dunn.
Sorry, excuse me.
It's okay. A lot of people get it wrong. It's a weird.
I didn't
it's a
even
weird
know.
name.
His name?
At all. So
Rude.
Good. It's a really stressful time for him because, well, he just opened his business, which is Long Beach Rising, a rock climbing gym in Long Beach.
Oh my
people
God.
find him? How can we
Bouldering
plug
gym.
this?
I mean, at Long Beach Rising on Instagram,
And
and go visit it in Long Beach.
why is it better than all the other ones?
There's not really any other climbing gym in Long Beach.
There you go.
There's one other really small one that's been around since the 90s, and it sucks, but his climbing gym has like saunas, 2 yoga studios, like beautiful exposed brick, like state-of-the-art bouldering facility, full gym setup if you're not into climbing, and it's more affordable than like a yoga membership at most places. So,
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
go
go
check
ahead
it out.
And support his business if you're in the area or if you travel to LA.
Yeah,
The only thing I know about him, he's a very handsome guy.
yeah, I think he is.
Very
He's stressed though.
I mean, it's really stressful.
fun.
It's
stress,
kind of
though, right?
Kind of, but kind of not. I mean, he's in his first 2 months, so it's like you're trying to make your like number projections. He has investors. Like that's how he's making this thing run. He has like a lot, like multiple
That's more
major
stressful,
investors.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's then sort of has these people's money that he's doing.
Like
this
when
with.
I started Natural Habits, I didn't, which was also stressful.
didn't have
but
investors?
No, I funded it myself. It was
Nice.
stressful on that, but I did not have to then answer to
Because
people.
here's the thing: if it bombs, then it bombs, and you go on about your life and you like try to pick up the pieces. But if it bombs for like other people's like investments, that shit sucks.
Yeah. Either way.
And it can damage
Tough
relationships.
starting a bit. Well,
So anyway,
we're
that's
happy to support.
Enough about him. Back to me. I have my podcast, Chatty Broads, which you can go listen to. Just had to plug that real quick, and that's about it for now.
I hear it's a big hit.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a pretty big.
Awesome. Well, should we get into some questions with some fans?
yeah.
Some good ones today.
Yeah. My friend calls in.
Friend of Rochelle,
boy.
who we had to give her I had to give her some tough love. Becca plays a little good cop today.
Yeah.
I know these advice questions stress me out because some of them are like so relatable in like a very personal way where you're just like, oh, I've been there. And how can I even give advice about this when I did not take it myself?
Well, hey, that's how we do it.
You live and you learn. So
Gabby was great. I know.
I'm worried she's going to get sad now.
I think no.
that's good.
She needs a
to
hug.
get sad so she can come out on the other side.
Okay.
You go see her. You give her a hug.
Yeah.
And you say, everything that we talked about is true, and you're going to be fine.
Do not tell her. Do not go
Do
and
not
tell her
fill
that
her with false hope.
that he misses her. No.
All right. Then people need to listen to the call first.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, listen. Sometimes we try. I'm a big believer in your real friends. Sometimes in life,
love.
Hard truths.
tell you hard truths, and it's important to have those real friends.
I think we need to do more of that. There's some friends like, you come out of a 2-year
It's a
relationship and they're like, oh man, that guy, like I knew that blah, blah, blah the whole time. And I'm like, why didn't you fucking say something?
Sometimes to be a real friend, you have to be okay with your best friend being really mad at you and your best friend temporarily cutting you out because they don't like what you have to hear.
Jeez.
Sometimes it's good. Anyways, let's just get to it, shall we?
Yeah.
Figs.
Figs.
I have 2 members of my family that are health professionals, and I buy them nice scrubs, and my mom sends me pictures in them all the time.
I had sex with a girl who was in the
Whoa.
medical industry.
Whoa.
And I told, and she saw my figs and wouldn't shut up about how great they are.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What a great
She's
anecdote.
like, you have figs? And I'm like, yeah, they're friend of show.
Wait, was she like, do you work at a hospital? You have a secret life I don't know about?
I gave her some. I felt like Derek Jeter, do you know what I'm talking about?
No. Anytime you give a sports reference, just assume I don't know.
But seriously, they are great. I wear them all the time around the house.
You do?
No, they're super comfortable.
And they're a cool design. They're joggers.
They're stylish.
Yeah.
I grocery shop in them as well, and I don't, and I feel like still like trendy and hip.
For sure.
She would not shut up about it.
That's hilarious.
And I don't mean like I didn't want it.
But
she loved.
yeah, because they've been forced to wear these itchy, ill-fitting scrubs, and now they don't have to.
They're truly amazing. What are they made of?
They are made with yoga waistbands, and they also, I don't know, they're just comfortable.
Great. Show how much you care at the end of the year with Figs. This holiday season, Figs is going to make that easy by providing you with 15% off your first purchase by using my code VIALL. Get ready to love your scrubs. Head to wearfigs.com, WEARFIGS.com, and enter my code VIALL at checkout.
Honey.
Listen, it's holiday season. You're going to be shopping online a lot, and there are plenty of promo codes out there that you're not aware of. And Honey is super easy to have. You download it on your browser. You're going to save tons of money.
It's a free download.
It's a free
so why
download.
wouldn't you do it?
It doesn't make any sense why not to do it. If you shop online at all, it's like it's part of your arsenal and your weapon to get the most savings, the best deals. It's an absolute no-brainer. So
I bought my mom, don't tell her, I bought her a sweater for what? I bought her.
Mom doesn't listen to the
She
show.
definitely does not listen. She doesn't listen. I bought her a sweater from J. Crew for Christmas, and I saved $25.
That's a lot.
I know it is.
A lot of money.
Thank you, honey.
If you're buying gifts this holiday season, as we've said, then you need Honey. If you're not, then you probably know someone who is. So do them a solid and tell them about Honey. Honey can help you make sure that you're getting the best price for whatever you are buying. It's free to use and installs in just 2 clicks. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/VIALL. That's joinhoney.com/VIALL.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. We have myself, our friend Bekah, and Rochelle is also with us.
Hey.
How can we help?
My name is Brooke, and I'm 23. So I just wanted some advice on a long-distance relationship that I'm currently dealing with. So I've been in a relationship for 4 years, and this past spring, things started to change for us. I graduated college, and I got an internship, and then a job right away. And so I was super excited about like what I was doing. And my boyfriend, he graduated 2 years before me, and so he kind of was like stuck in a job that he wasn't super excited about. So I think he kind of saw that I was following my passion, and he wanted the same thing for himself, which I also wanted for him. So he decided that he wanted to get involved into the wine industry. And where I live, that's not really a thing. Like, we don't have many vineyards around here. So he wanted to look into jobs on the West Coast, which we live on the East Coast. And so he applied for an internship in Oregon, and it was supposed to be for 3 months, and he ended up getting it. And so I was super supportive about it. I was excited for him. So he took the internship, and then he decided that he wanted to sign a year lease out in Oregon for a year with his brother. And I was still very supportive. I was like, figure out what you want to do. And then the day that he moved out there, he texted me and was like, I think this is where I want to be forever. Like, I don't think that I want to come back. And I think this is what I want to do. So I kind of just like took that with a grain of salt and was like, you literally just got out there. Like, let's just see what happens. But the longer things went on, he was really wanting me to move out there. He was very excited about it and was like, you need to move out here. Like, you'd love it. Meanwhile, I just got a job in doing exactly what I wanted to do right outside of college. So I was very excited about it. And so I just feel like I don't really know where to go from here. I guess my question is, at what point do you take that leap of faith and decide to follow your relationship versus, continuing on your own path? And I feel like right now our paths aren't really going towards each other. So I don't really know where to go from here.
Yeah. That's a great question. How long have you guys been dating again? Did you say?
4 years.
And then
4
how
years.
long has he been living out there?
He's been living out there since June.
Is this your first serious relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I had one other in high school that was like 2 years long, but this is like, I consider this my first.
Kind of your first adult relationship of dealing with like real, life shit. It's a tough one. I mean, what are your thoughts? Have you spent a lot of time thinking about what you really like about the relationship in him? And, we've talked about this before, but I think to help you make your decision, you really got to think about the now and the present. And so much about evaluating your relationship right now, I find that people in your shoes use so much about the past as the way to measure their relationship. And I'm not saying the past isn't meaningful, but in terms of like, how is the relationship going now? The things you like about him, how you guys make each other feel, how you communicate. The fact that you've been together for 4 years and he's your first love is all nice. And I'm not saying it's meaningless, but that's not what is going to make your relationship successful going forward. So have you thought about that?
Yeah, I have. And I guess like the past year, like before this started happening, things were the greatest between us. Like we've had a lot of ups and downs in our 4 years, but leading up to him leaving was the best that we had ever been, I think. And as soon as he left, that like very quickly, at least for me, started to dissipate. I don't think he feels the same way, but he did come out here once so far for a wedding, and he was literally only here for 24 hours. So I picked him up at the airport at 4 a.m., dropped him off the next day at 4 a.m. And so we were together for one day for a wedding, his cousin's wedding. And so, I mean, the day was already kind of stressful in itself, but I just didn't feel the same that I did before he left. And I think that's because of the distance.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Becca?
I think it's hard because I guess you have to weigh what's stronger, your potential or your history. And if your history is what's stronger, then you don't really have anywhere to go. And also I would just like evaluate how, because you've been on your own now there without him for what, 5 months now? That would be 5 months, I think. Yeah. And I guess I would just evaluate like, how are you doing? If you're like doing your own thing, starting to branch out, living your life, and like when he came and visited for that 24 hours, you were kind of like feeling apathetic about the situation. I think that's a lot of clarity that you may already have that you might not want to acknowledge, but I can't say how you're feeling. So
I have a question for you. When you think about the possibility of breaking up, and I'm assuming you've thought about it, you've at least considered it, you're on the phone with us. When you think about it, what makes you more sad? Not having him right there or saying goodbye to what you had?
I think it's definitely saying goodbye to what we had, because I think like a big part for me is his family. I've gotten so close to his family. And they, like, his brothers became my best friend and their girlfriends, and
and that's
he's
common.
so close with my sister. So I mean, that's definitely, and I mean, just the thought of like us not being in each other's lives the way that we are. I mean, obviously we don't see each other every day, but we talk every single day, and like he's the person I go to about everything. So I think just like not having that.
Have you broached the subject with him about the possibility of you guys breaking up? Has it been discussed, or has this all been things that you've thought about on your own?
It has. So actually a week ago, I kind of brought that up and said that I wanted to take a break for a little while, just because I kind of was like, ever since that wedding when he came back, which is like 4 weeks ago now, I've been just like, what is going on? So I brought that up to him, and I kind of asked to take a break from him. And he is, at first he kind of took it well, and it was kind of weird. But then it automatically just like did not go well, and we literally still talk every day. So yeah, I just don't know.
I mean, because he's going to be responding like right now. There's no one's doing anything wrong in a sense, right? He's being a little selfish right now, and he might need to be this for himself. I mean, he sees what he sees, you're following your passion, and he's probably proud of you and in a way envious of you, and good for him for finding something that he's excited about, because he probably is getting some sort of fulfillment out of this. Totally. And sometimes life can throw you obstacles, but right now he is focusing on him, and that's fine, and that's okay, and maybe that's what he needs to do at this point. But life is about prioritizing, and it is about choices in relationships. And so he might not be able to have his cake and eat it too. So it's not surprising to me to hear you say you decided to take a break a little bit. He seemed to react initially at first okay. And then he probably let it sit for a couple days and started like thinking about it and panicking, because like you, he doesn't know much else in terms of relationship wise. It's, you guys have, there's a lot of fear of the unknown that goes into it. which you might both be like trying to make something work because you're just afraid of being alone for a little.
Yeah, there only seems like there's so many options though. There's either you break up, you stay together in a long distance relationship, which let's be honest, that sucks super hard. It's not very sustainable in my opinion, Or you give up the job that you love and move out there to be with him. And you're kind of then living his life, and maybe you adapt and like you find your own life within it, or you hate it and you feel resentful and you're like, why the fuck did I do this? And those kind of seem like the only options.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you want, in terms of like what you should do, I mean, again, kind of to Becca's point, you know, we can't sit there and tell you exactly what you should do. But it sounds like from what we're hearing is that I feel like your gut tells you maybe the right thing to do for you right now is to take that break. And it's going to be scary for you and it's going to be scary for him and you're both going to miss each other. But it might be the healthiest and best thing for both of you right now. And like that whole kind of cliche, if you love something, let it go. Right now, you both have to acknowledge that your biggest priority isn't necessarily each other. It's your careers, and that's okay, right? And you're together right now based off of a lot of history. But, you know, and it'd be one thing if you guys were living in the same city to acknowledge, hey, we love each other, but we're kind of focused on our relationships. You're putting so much of your personal life on hold right now. And he made this choice, and not that he deserves to be punished, but yeah, kind of to Becca's point, it's not really sustainable. Like you can make a long distance relationship work for a while, but right now there's no end game. You know, you have this dream job and this career and you have no real plans to move to California. And right now it sounds like coming from you, if you were to do that, you're going to have to give something up that you value, right? He's set there. That could change in a year or two, but right now it might make more sense just to, you know, it feels like your gut is okay, at least curious about what else is out there. Maybe you want to date someone else. Maybe you want to see, you know, someone who, maybe you just want someone who's present and there. And that's part of a relationship, you know?
Yeah. You could also just set a boundary. Maybe just try like, I know this is going to be hard, but we're not going to talk to each other just for 5 days on this break.
Yeah.
And like set like a little boundary.
I don't know if that works.
No, like for a break, just to see what it's like. Cause you get clarity in that time apart, I think.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think like 5 days,
well, this is what I'm saying. She said that they tried taking a break, but they started talking again all the time. So like setting the time.
I just think that's always, keep in mind, this is someone you've dated for 4 years. It's that first big relationship. I mean, and again, I said this from personal experience. I dated my first girlfriend on and off for 7 years. It's just so hard to say goodbye to that first love. And maybe you don't want to say goodbye, but if you do, it's so hard to let go. And so I think to do that, you always find a way to go back.
Yeah,
and
I
so
know.
what you could be doing is just delaying the inevitable, and also just making it hard on both of you. You might just need a true clean break. And that might just be time apart, but you really need to take some time off. And he needs to get through that. You both need to get through that period of, okay, now I'm alone. And now I'm scared. I'm going to panic. That kind of week of like,
who am I going to tell about my day?
And you got to get through that. And then you both have to get out there and meet other people and see if this is something that either of you are interested in.
Oh, it's so hard.
It's hard. It's not going to be easy. But I think it sounds, you're feeling very unfulfilled right now. And it sounds like you're feeling like you're in the relationship because you've been in this relationship, not because you're getting what you need out of this relationship right now, you know?
Yeah.
And if you said, hey, in 6 months he's coming back, fine, like, you know, stomach through this hard time. But right now, I mean, what's the end game? We don't know.
Yeah, that's my question always to him, is just like where is this going? Like if we were like, okay, we're only going to be in a long distance relationship for a year and then whatever, but we don't know where it's going. And he's always just like, we'll figure it out. And I just like, I'm more of like a realist and like, okay, but what does that mean? Like, what does that look like for us?
We'll figure it out to him means eventually I'm going to convince you to move out here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it seems.
So, a follow-up question, I guess, then is, so I haven't been out there yet, but I had plans to go out there for a week during Thanksgiving. And so I don't know, if we continue this break, like, how do I approach that situation? Like, should I go?
No. Again, if you're going to take a break, you're going to have to take a break. And my advice there, and that's the one thing I am certain of, that if you do think a break is best for you, you can't half-ass it. You really got to go for it. I do think that you will only make it harder on both of you. You'll make it more confusing for the both of you if you kind of take a break and then kind of date. Because what you don't want to do, like, listen, that's the thing is like, what does that mean if you kind of take a break? Then wait, are we able to see other people or not? And then you kiss another guy or something. That's going to feel like you cheated. You don't want to have blurred lines here. You want to have it be very black and white, because maybe there is a future for you two someday down the road, and you want to avoid those kind of messy conversations and wait, well, we were dating or were you not? You want to avoid confusion. And so this is someone you love, you care about, you've been with for 4 years. He's your first love. Like, you got to respect that in the sense that he deserves clarity, and you both do. And like, kind of taking a break and visiting him, but like then going on a dating app and seeing what's out there is just very messy and is not fair to him either. And it's not fair to you. So you need to be very definitive, and it's going to be hard. And he's going to call you and says he misses you, but you really need to, you got to have to, stomach through the tough part. And it's hard. I've been there, and it's like, it's so easy to pick up the phone and call and miss someone.
Yeah. I guess like part of the point, obviously to see him, but like for me to see if I like it out there, which I don't even know if I could get a gauge in a week of like if that's the thing I want, but
I was on the other end where I was like, maybe you should go. But I'm also like a masochist where I'm like, I am so bad about doing that dance back and forth. So
No.
Yeah, I mean, again, there is
because also it might be super clarifying. Like, I don't know, you might go out there and you might be like, this is so dead. Like, our relationship is so over, and that might be like really clarifying.
She
I don't
already
know.
knows.
I think, I agree with Trey. I think
you guys are probably
I think
right.
you already know. I think deep down you want to at least see what else is out there, but it's so hard, and rightfully so, because you have so much history.
Yeah.
I think going out there will only give you more confusion. You might get all these feelings, but you also don't know. And again, I think it's not fair to either of you. I mean, someone listening could be like, well, you should go and like break up with them in person. You've been dating for so long. But I mean, that
just makes things
there's two
weird.
arguments there. But like, you flew all the way here just to dump me?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
Yeah.
what a dick move.
I've seen that happen quite a few times.
Yeah, what are you
Never
going to do
good.
it at the beginning of the trip?
Never
or then
goes
at like the
well.
very end
Never
of the trip?
good.
Like, okay,
I was like actually thinking about that. I was like, oh God, like
see, you're already thinking about.
Yeah.
She's already thinking about breaking
Okay,
up.
but
Yeah.
here's my encouragement. Some people might not like this, but I think that it never has to be like, don't get it in your head that this is, if you guys break up, it's forever not talking to each other. Like, you might not talk for a year or two. And then like, if you want to still be in touch in the future, like later on after both of you is healed, like there's no reason why in the future you can't still have like a friendship. And like me and my first ex, like it took 2 years of not talking, but now every now and then we check in, like let each other know how each other's lives are doing. And
But the important note there was 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just saying, like, don't like worry about like losing him in your life forever.
And maybe in 6 months you guys will think there'll be some change. Maybe really he will. I want you in my life. I need you. You are my priority, and you might feel that way. Maybe you will feel like the priority is him in the relationship and not the careers. But right now, you guys are focusing on your careers, and that's okay. And you're hanging on to a relationship right now. It sounds like more based on the fact that he's your first love, and he's your best friend, and he's the person you go to, and those are valuable things. But that's not why you should marry him, and that's not why you should have a family together, and that's not why you should move to San Francisco, because you are young, and you will find if you do break up with him, you will connect with other people, and you'll make more best friends, and there will be another guy out there. All the things that you now value in this relationship, you can find with someone else, if that's what you want.
And you might just need time for you. 4 years with someone else is a long time. You might have fun just doing your own thing. So
That makes sense.
But follow your gut. It sounds like you have something in your gut telling you something, and you should follow it and know that it will be hard and it's going to be scary, and don't give in to your fears.
that's real. Don't let.
Okay.
All right. Oh, look at that sigh.
You got this.
She knows.
You
She
got
knows.
this.
And
All right.
be kind to him. And the kindest thing you can do is to be honest and not be afraid to hurt his feelings in the short term.
That's real.
Don't tell him something that's going to soften the blow just to like make him feel better in the moment. It will
Just
only hurt
right
him.
now.
Yeah,
It's just
don't-
I'm having a hard time. Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
You're better off asking for forgiveness later on.
Cut it clean.
All right.
All right.
Best of luck. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy holidays.
Actually, this
Well, thank you guys.
might air after Thanksgiving. So. All right, take care.
Thank you.
All right,
Good
bye-bye.
luck.
Thank you.
Whew.
That shit sucks.
Becca.
What?
Becca.
No, that's a real. It's I mean, listen, it's tough. It's young love.
Yeah.
I hold on to memories with people, I have a hard time even with friends, like
do
friends that have
too.
screwed me over. I'm like, oh, but like, look at these photos of us together. Like, oh, how are you doing? I'm so
ruining my
bad
life.
about
I
that.
think that's fine though, right? You
Yeah.
can reconnect, but sometimes you really have to like let things go
You
to
do.
reevaluate
Or someone gets hurt, yourself or the other person.
how you feel about it.
Yeah.
You know, because you can be in toxic friendships or relationships, and doesn't sound like this is toxic.
No.
It just might be
Not best.
not what you want, and it might be. It sounds like this relationship, as wonderful it is both limiting both these individuals to follow their
Yeah,
individual
totally.
dreams, and their individual dreams are important to them right now.
It also sounds like both of them are kind of over it. So it's like, I'm sure it'll go smoothly eventually if they cut it clean.
Yeah, well, here's what's going to happen. She's a little over it now. She's going to initiate the breakup. He's probably actually fine with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like he said, he's going to really panic.
Yeah.
He's going to freak out, especially when he really realizes she's gone. And if he ends up listening to this, he's going to like consider quitting. He's going to like try to bend over backwards. And if you're still listening, dear caller, don't let him. Make sure he follows his dreams, because he's going to panic.
Yeah.
He's going to freak out.
That's good advice.
It's so scary to say goodbye to that relationship. He literally,
This is a
you don't
security
know anything
blanket.
else. You don't. That's your first love. It's like your person. It is so meaningful, that one person you connect with. So
It's so hard too, because like everything's gonna remind you of them.
oh my God, yes,
Months.
it's gonna.
You're gonna see a brand of toothbrush, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, I mean, I could tell you a story like that first girlfriend. I saw a silver Ford Focus
it's devastating.
every day. I mean, I was obsessed.
The car is such a real thing.
And
I
her
remember
birthday,
that.
her birthday was in April. Like I would see her like the
Yeah.
4 something was like, I saw that everywhere. And the point is, I just obsessed over it so much that I looked for it, But like
I know.
I just was everything reminded me of
Yeah.
her. And that's what he's going to go through. And that's what she might go through.
It's a grief
You got to
process,
get through that
you know?
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a long time.
And when it comes to that first love, we will bustle through like a good year of a relationship we don't want to be in, because like we're so afraid to let go of that. It's tough.
All right. Our next caller is actually one of my friends.
Woo!
And
Tell me.
well, I just kind of wrangled her in last
right.
night because she was complaining to me, and I'm like so sick of hearing it, because it's one of those like patterns that
Oh yeah, we
But,
all have one of those friends.
We'll be kind.
be kind. She's a very sensitive, lovely, hilarious person.
I'm gonna wreck her.
I'm very excited about this. Better help.
Our trusty friends, BetterHelp.
Shorty, they help validate our show, because we
Seriously.
are trying to give you better help, but we do it in a very unprofessional, opinionated sort of way. I love how people ask me about like this podcast, and I'll tell them what we do, and they're always like, well, what qualifies you? And I'm
do you
like,
say?
literally nothing. But we do have a wonderful friend of show, BetterHelp,
Yep.
that you can utilize to get professional help.
Yep.
I've actually recommended this to friends. They have tried it. They've loved it. They've
great.
talked to me about like, I feel like I should go talk to someone about, said thing
Yes.
they're talking to me about. And I'm like, yeah, you should. And by the way, like, try BetterHelp. They've loved it. They talked about how easy it is. They love the person they talked to. It took
Great.
the load and the pressure off of like, going into like trying to find a doctor and then taking that trip to them. It's just you want that to be easy, and BetterHelp truly makes it easy. Best of all, it's truly affordable. The Viall File listeners get 10% off your first month with discount code VIALL. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/VIALL. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/VIALL. Article. What can we say about article we haven't said already, other than it's amazing? I have this article catalog at my place right now. I've been
Perusing.
I'm going to make some more purchases, and to me it's an absolute no-brainer about why. Like, I could go waste time shopping. Yeah, exactly, right? And it all fits. It's so modern and nice, and it's such a high quality.
It's
and
modern
so
furniture at a lower price than you're going to
reasonably
find.
priced.
And they deliver it to you, make it easy.
I always feel like I should be spending twice as much than I do.
They show you on the site how much money you're saving because you're buying it like basically wholesale.
And I know you guys are thinking, why would I maybe buy furniture online? I want to sit and feel it. Listen, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because if you happen not to like it, which I very much doubt, they will take it back for free. It's such an
Within
easy
30 days.
Within 30 days.
Yeah.
You can sit on it for a whole month.
Totally.
Anyways,
There's going to be a lot of Black Friday sales too.
I
so.
think Article is what you need to look into. We love it. Article is offering our listeners $50 off their first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/VIALL and the discount code will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/VIALL to get $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
I'm excited for all my holiday guests to see my new couch.
And that new guy come January 3rd.
He's going to love it.
How's it going?
Hey, hi.
Hi, friend of show. What's your name?
I'm Gabby Lamb.
Hi, Gabby. How old are you?
I'm 28.
What a great age. Gabby, how can we help?
Yes.
Your friend Rochelle suggests that maybe you're wearing out your friends. And so we're here to help. Listen, I have been there. You wear out your friends. I've worn out friends.
Speaking of breakups and talking about them for a year, like,
oh my God, yeah.
yeah.
I've worn out plenty a friend before. So we all do it. No judgment, Gabby. How can we help?
Thank you. Okay, so just get right into it, right?
Let's do it.
Whatever's going on. Okay, so I am 2 weeks into a no contact with a guy that I've been dating for a year.
Okay.
Shit.
And it is so fucking hard. I've never done like no contact before. And what happened was, you want to hear how the whole relationship started?
Sure. Try to be succinct and give us the cliff notes, but yeah.
more like why it ended,
Also,
probably
quick
more
question on the no
I can
talking.
tell you.
Quick question on the no talking. Is this a mutual no talking or is someone ghosting here?
No, it's kind of a mutual. It's like I'm the one who had to establish okay, well, we can't be in contact. And he was like, well, I mean, you can call me anytime. And I was like, no, I can't because
Wait, you guys are like
Can't do
broken
that.
up?
Are you?
So you're not
So wait,
talking?
let me try to guess
It's
here.
a fuckboy.
Are you dating a fuckboy who you really want to date, but for a year you pretended you were okay with just having sex?
yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right.
So So the cliff notes. This is what happened.
I got
met
I got
him-
no inside scoop, by the way.
So yeah. So we met a year ago. He was like fresh out of like a little over a year-long relationship, and when we met, he was like. He was very he's like charismatic and charming, blah 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 blah. And he was like,
How old is he?
you know, I don't want to get into anything serious. And I was like, yeah, okay, fine. But then like we started sleeping together like 2 weeks after he said that, and then like we kept seeing each other, and he's like, it wasn't like a once a week thing. He started, texting me every day and was like, what are you up to? And then like over the course of a few months, it became like we were together, and so I brought it up like 2 months into the relationship. I was like, this feels like a relationship. What's going on? And he's like, I told you I don't want to commit. And I was like, okay, then we can't keep seeing each other because I have feelings for you now. And he was like, okay. And we like stopped. And then like 3 days later, 2 or 3 days later, he came back and he was like, what's going on? And I was like, you said you don't want to be in a relationship. And then we started doing it again.
How old is he?
And he's 36.
Okay.
And he's a comedian.
I know.
Oh no! I feel like I've dated this exact
I mean, the
guy
fact that he's a
before.
comedian, I mean, he lives in
But also she dated the same guy, different guy, but the same guy the year before.
Wait, I want to fucking. I
listen,
wonder if I know
I
who this
can't-
comedian is.
There's probably some girl out
Some
there
loser.
who feels the same way about me.
We eventually, now it's a year into this, and just like a little over around a month ago, we had another conversation. I mean, we were seeing each other like 4 to 5 days a week. I'm going out with all of his friends. He took me to a wedding. We went camping with his friends. I'm with him all the
Okay,
fucking
so
time.
he did boyfriend things with you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd stayed at his house almost every night.
No one
Buy
thinks
me
that about me.
dinner.
Yeah. Okay. That's a
You
bit.
don't blur those lines.
I mean, no. Yeah. I mean, it's. But, okay. So yes, he did. I'll explain. But he. So here's my guess. Like you've started dating this guy. He was probably pretty quickly told you don't want to be in a relationship, and there's been this literally Groundhog's Day cycle of this thing where it's you get in this like routine of pretending to be boyfriend and girlfriend and playing house, and then he panics and pushes you away, and then you say, well, then we can't talk, and then like after 3 or 5 days or maybe even a week and a half, he'll reach out of boredom, and then you'll like, fine, come over, it's late, we'll have sex. And this literally constantly
He is having his cake and
happens over and over and over and over and over.
And she just saw a text on his computer pop up from a girl.
Oh, he has 100% been having sex with other people this past year. Make no mistake.
He said that he hasn't been.
He's lied.
He also said that he didn't want a relationship, yet he's doing.
Possible though.
It's very possible.
He also said he didn't want a relationship, but he's doing boyfriend girlfriend shit with.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this.
Listen. I say this from. I'm not saying I am this guy, but I'm just saying, like, I don't play house. I don't do. But he's sleeping with other people. And if he didn't want to sleep with other people, trust me, you would be boyfriend and girlfriend.
I mean, you don't know if he's sleeping with other people.
Sure, you're right. I'm not a psychic and I don't know him, so that's entirely possible. I wouldn't bet my life on it.
I think that's irrelevant. I think she
needs to hear that.
I think she needs to hear it too, Becca.
I think what's relevant though is that you're not valuing yourself in this relationship.
Well, there is that. We have this t-shirt coming out said, I don't respect myself. Well, I'm sure you do overall. This might be a good shirt that when we come out with, this is like a friendly reminder that when you want to text him back to put the t-shirt on and look in the mirror. Because to Becca's point, I don't think when you get bored and lonely, and when you do reach out, like, you know your worth, like, you know you deserve more, and you know his bullshit, and like you don't need us to tell you that, like, right? You don't need Rochelle or all your other friends to tell you what you deserve and the type of relationship you want. You know this, right? But there's reasons why we give in to these weaknesses all the time, and because you probably do really like them. I don't doubt that, right? But more importantly, you've probably lost sight of what you like about him, and now you're just chasing him. And the thing you like most about him right now, deep down, is probably the chase. And you've probably totally forgotten what it is you like about him. That's so far in the past, because your only focus right now is, how do I get him to date me? Like, you haven't even thought about what I like about him, how he makes you feel, because he makes you feel like shit most of the time. You spend most of your time complaining about him to your friends.
Well, it's also created this validation cycle, most likely, where you feel like shit, and then he hits you up and you guys hang out, and then you feel validated and you feel good about yourself. Yeah. And then you feel like shit again. Yeah. And then things go good and then you feel good, and it's like this emotional roller coaster you're putting on yourself up and down, which is like fun at first, and the drama's kind of fun, and then after a while it's just sucking the life and the energy out of you.
Totally.
Like,
so little of that.
He's sucking energy from your life and sucking mental space and like heart space from you.
I totally agree, but in so little of that, to my point, is not what you should be like considering when you think about any guy saying, what do I want in a relationship? What's my day to day? What kind of guy do I want to be? How do I want him to make me feel? How he's making you feel like toxic and confused and unsettled and all these things. And you are completely stopped paying attention to that and just focused on the immediate gratification of validating your ego to like prove your own worth to yourself, because for some reason you've decided that will make you feel special if you just get him to date you.
Why don't you just block him? Just fucking block him off everything. You did?
I blocked him.
Okay.
I blocked him the other day.
Yeah.
And
but that was
just
that was hard. What?
Have you blocked him on all platforms?
No, just Instagram.
Okay, so you've left Windows.
I think you should. I also kind of believe in, if you need to, just getting off certain social medias if you can, or blocking friends of them too, because that's always been so hard for me. You know, you follow that one friend, and you know when you're clicking on that one friend's story that you might see them in the background, and then you see that, and then you're like set into this head spiral again. You know.
Yeah. The hard part is also, like, we have a lot of the same friends. We're both comedians, so it's like our friend groups are very intertwined. And the other day, like, I was invited to a birthday on Facebook, and then like immediately after I confirmed to going, he confirmed to going. And I was just like, this fucking bitch.
Yeah. It's just, again, here's what you need to stop doing, right? You need to stop giving him the benefit of the doubt. Because you are constantly with everything he's like. You'll get mad, and I'm sure you complain and bitch about him, but at the end of the day, you are always giving him the benefit of the doubt. You're always going to believe him. You're always going to see the good in him. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but deep down, you're giving him the benefit of the doubt at the end of the day, you are. Right.
Also, he's setting the terms of the relationship. You're giving him control
and
over you.
Right now, you're giving him the benefit now because, again, kind of back to my original point, you've done this for so long that now there's this kind of weird subconscious of if you like when you get to the place that you need to be in terms of recognizing what you need out of a relationship, then you have to admit to yourself that you haven't been kind of good to yourself and valuing yourself, like admitting that he's kind of not treating you, he's being shitty to you, right? He's not a shitty guy, but he is being selfish and shitty to you and not respecting what you want and what you need. He's playing games, and we all have done that. And you have allowed him to do that. It's on you at this point. And you need to like face that reality that you've kind of spent this time, but the time you've wasted doing it, it will only continue until you finally stop it. You kind of have to get through that. It's like a chicken before the egg thing.
Yeah, and how would you feel if someone you love was going through this, you know? How would you feel if someone you love was being treated this way by someone and was being like tugged around? And like try to put yourself in the position of like someone you love, you know? And like if you love yourself, then give yourself the advice you would give a friend who's going through the same thing.
What if Rochelle was doing this?
Well, I've done it.
And what have you said to her? I mean, you know? I mean, listen, obviously it's harder when it's on us, but really stop giving the benefit of the doubt. Like, even if who cares if he's sleeping with someone or not? Assume he has. Like, the question is,
it's hard for her to think about that though. Like,
I get
it breaks
that.
her heart.
You care about him. I understand that, but like at the end of the day, there are reasons he doesn't want to be in a committed relationship with you.
Yeah.
What are those reasons?
Who cares?
And it doesn't have to
do with,
but
like,
she might need to do with her though.
She might have to come to the reality of realize, you know what I'm saying? It's not just like, well, I just don't want to be in a relationship. He doesn't, and you're lovely. He doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. Someone he will meet someday and he will be in a relationship. He's not scared. He just doesn't want to be in a relationship. And again, that might just be a product of the situation you guys have put yourselves in, right?
Right, where he's setting the terms.
Yeah, exactly.
He's setting the terms. So I wouldn't, like, don't take that like you're not good enough for him. It's more like you've given him...
No reflection on you.
No.
It's like... Yeah. I mean, the reason you're attracted to this guy is because he's like playing all these games. Like, that is attractive. And when someone surrenders their heart and lets you just like, flip flop and walk all over you, like...
There's a drone.
I know. I kept noticing that. I was like, what? It was over there.
TMZ's doing drones now?
Great.
You know, what's really hard though is him using that scapegoat the entire time, or just, because when we were ending, he was like, I've been honest with you. I told you from the beginning I didn't want a relationship, and I was like, but you sent me emotional mixed messages, and I would leave, and then he would come back. And
it's a dick move on his part. He's playing that game. Don't play house. Don't go to the weddings.
He will keep coming back as long as you keep giving him back that control. So you need to stay strong for it may be a long fucking time, because he may be trying to weasel his way back in.
One or two things are going to happen. That he will just be around as long as you allow him, or he'll meet someone else he wants to date.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he's going to move on rather quickly, because he is a serial monogamist, and he has this whole, but he also has this whole
That's the thing. He's been in a relationship. If he is a serial, did you hear what you just said? He's a serial monogamist, but he doesn't want to commit to you. I'm sorry,
but
I wouldn't be with him even if he did want to commit at this point.
What, Gabby? What are you saying, Gabby?
His whole thing when we were ending was like, I've never really been single, and I need to be alone, and I need to figure out my own shit. And I'm like, yeah, bullshit.
I hate
it is bullshit, right? And he's 36. You know what I'm saying? He's not 22 who just got out of his first relationship. He's probably had multiple girlfriends. He's a comedian. He's had sex with plenty of women. He's there's nothing else to figure out.
He's living in
He's just going to
land.
He's going to meet a bunch of great women that he wants to hang out with and sleep with, and at this point you've been his backup proxy girlfriend who if he doesn't have someone else he can take to a wedding, and you've allowed him to do that. you've lost a little bit of yourself. You've lost a little bit of confidence. You can get it back, but do it by like, we've talked a lot on the show, like take your power back. Like
Take your power back.
you have control here. Stop fucking giving it to them.
And reconnect with who you are and what's make you happy. Like apart from other people, like what shit do you like to do? You know?
That's what I'm trying to do. And it's like, you know, and I keep holding on to the hope of like, oh, is he going to reach out though? Like, am I ever going to hear from him again?
That's
like,
honest for you to say. Honest for you to say, but that's what you really got to stop doing. Like the little things you can do is like wondering if he's going to call again. Like this mutual friends, like we have a lot of same group friends. You like that right now. Yeah. For you, that's a security blanket. You complain about it, but deep down you like it because when you're like, don't call me, I don't want to see you, you're grateful you have mutual friends right now because thank God he's around. Like you got to let that go. You truly have to believe and say to yourself, he's not right for me. I don't want to date him.
Yes.
He's not going to do this.
Yes.
Even if he decided he want to date me now, like this is not someone who's respected me the past year and I want to be with someone who respects me. You literally probably have to say that out loud to yourself and repeat it in like a words of like
affirmation, negation.
Literally, you're going to have to, because you just don't believe it right now. And you have to believe it. You need to stop complaining to your friends about it. Your friends, if I were to get in a circle of all your friends.
No, we don't care.
But right now, your friends, God bless them, are just like, they're just crutches. It was like, I tell this story all the time. Like my first girlfriend, I had a hard breakup. I had my mom and I had my dad. My mom I'd call every morning for like a month on my way to work. And we just talk about my heartbreak. And I was and she was always there and she like loved it. And she heard it from her son. And my dad was finally like, bro, you gotta fucking stop. And at the time I was just like, Dad, why you like,
insensitive?
It's so insensitive. But I wish my dad spoke louder and I wish my mom, God bless her, wasn't so understanding because it became a crutch. And your friends want to be there for you and they want to support you, but it's time for tough love. It's time for your friends to saying, you need to stop. We're not talking about it anymore because you need to start telling yourself, you got to fake it till you make it. You got to go out there. And I remember this because I remember how like I got, right? And I lost friends, you know, like there was a period of times where my friends were just like, dude, Nick sucks to be around, you know? Like it was just, it's all I wanted to talk about. And like fast forward a couple years later when I was going through a breakup, I just remember telling myself, I'm not going to fucking do this. And I felt shitty inside. I got cheated on. And I just like, there was like 3 weeks I just didn't go out because I knew to myself, I don't know how to go out and have fun. What I'm not going to do is go out and be a Debbie Downer. And I'm not going to go out and wear out my friends. And then when I knew I was like at a point where I wasn't over it, but I was okay to go out, I went out. When people would ask me how I was going, as much as it pained me inside, I was like, I'm great. It's cool. Like I would never bring it up. And eventually just kind of goes. But like, I just kept telling myself, this isn't what I want. Like I know it hurts and I want her to call me. But like, no, I don't. I shouldn't want her to call me. And I just kept repeating that. And eventually you realize it.
I also think just you got to cut yourself off from channels where you might be like reading into like different messages. Like, you know how you said he confirmed he was going to the party right after you did? Like, I know for me, I would be like, wait, did he see that I confirmed I was going to the party? And then that's why he confirmed.
Right.
And
Totally.
like, you know, so like, block him on Facebook. You got to cut those channels for your own health and also like reconnect with yourself. So like, do you like to dance? Go take a dance class. Maybe you can't afford to go on like some trip to Costa Rica, but like take a little mountain camping trip with your friends, you know, like reconnect with what like makes you feel happy inside that has nothing to do with this dude.
Yeah. That's a great point. You're playing games with yourself and like
over analyzing
everything.
I know, and
exhausting.
I feel like I played myself because in the end too, he was like, you know, you deserve to be with somebody who can give you what you want. And I was
what a condescending dick. I mean, you do, but that shouldn't come from him.
Yeah,
right? And so
jump off a bridge.
You need to forgive yourself for wasting all this time on him.
Forgive yourself.
Ooh, that hurt. Oh, that hurts though, you know, 'cause I'm like. And he was like, this has nothing to do with you. Like, I care about you. So you're going to take this personally. It has nothing to do with you. I'm just not in a place in my life. Like, I have walls up. I need to go to therapy.
That's probably all true, but you need to fucking believe him, right? He's laying the breadcrumbs for you to just leave his ass, but you don't want to fucking listen. And he does, you know, like it's classic guys. Guys will all the time be like, I don't really want to break up with her, so I'll just be just enough of a dick to get dumped. And he's just laying the breadcrumbs, you know?
Yeah.
And he can't
Well,
help himself.
And he was like, I want to keep seeing you, but I know this isn't healthy for you anymore. So, like, what are we just going to keep doing this? And you keep getting more fucked up. And I was like,
When he's calling you after 3 or 4 days, and this is going to hurt, and I'm sorry, he's bored. That's it. He's just bored. You are the thing he reaches out to and the person he talks to when he doesn't have anything else to preoccupy his time.
well, it's been 2 weeks and I've heard nothing from him.
Well, that's because he's having fun.
No, she doesn't want to hear
Wait,
this.
how do you know if he?
She
if
needs
you
to hear
blocked
it.
She
him?
needs to hear
She
it.
needs
How
to
do you
hear
know if you blocked him?
'Cause-
What?
How do you know if
You
you
could have
blocked
texted
him?
her.
Oh. Block him on your phone.
Block him on your
Block
phone,
your fucking
Gabby.
phone. That's step number 1, girl.
Yes, you're waiting for her to reach out, and I'm being harsh, and I know, and I apologize, but like you just need to get through this. You're finding all these ways to not let him go. You know, you're just making all these excuses, and you're giving him the benefit of the doubt, and you're pretending to block him on Instagram, but not blocking him on your phone or Snapchat or whatever, Twitter.
Facebook.
You really, you're talking about with your friends. You're trying to figure out something that you truly already know the answer to. You just need to forgive yourself for wasting time and falling for a guy that your ego didn't feel like you're not feeling validated. Your ego's taking over, and your ego wants to to have. This is not a reflection of you. It really isn't to do with you. And like, listen, you've got plenty of guys have liked you that you didn't like back. Plenty of guys. That's trust me. You're not like you probably didn't even pay attention to them. But they have.
She's a hot commodity.
So like you just, and that sucks for them. Right now you're feeling sorry for yourself. Why can't I get the person I want? He doesn't want to be with you, and that you just have to move on.
No more comedians.
No.
He was never going to be, and I would bring it up and I'd be like, you're never going to want to be with me. He's like, well, you don't know, like, stop making up these like scenarios.
Oh,
if
geez.
you don't know.
It's hard for him to say the honest truth because he should just be like, you're right. I won't. And I'm telling you for him, yes, something crazy could happen, but I also could win the lottery today. But no, he doesn't want to be with you.
And you're a cool ass chick. You
She
should
is.
be with somebody that thinks you're a cool ass chick, and that is like
I hate, but
I know. She knows
from him
that.
was the worst.
Yeah, of course.
Because
Hearing him be like, you deserve somebody that can give you what you want, and I can't do that.
And
for
you know that your heart knows that, but your ego's like, fuck that. Stop paying attention. We're gonna win this motherfucker. We're gonna get this motherfucker. Nothing else matters. Your happiness doesn't matter. I don't care how miserable you are. We're gonna fucking get this done.
I know.
That is what you're doing right now. And it's on you. Like right now, you're just in a shitty spot and you're feeling sorry for yourself. You need a kick in the ass. Your friends need to stop listening to you. They need to kind of be dicks and they love you so much and they're kind to you, but they really, it's
And
done.
I mean the good cop. Do stuff that makes yourself feel good. And remember how valuable you are.
You are,
You know?
but
She's blowing up. Her comedy's blowing up. I'm not
Dude,
even exaggerating. She
Yeah,
doesn't
use
need
it.
no man.
use it. This is a great bit. Come on, this is great stuff.
And you know what? Don't replace this dude with some other shitty dude. I think that's the worst thing. Don't try to get over him.
Absolutely not.
Don't try to
Absolutely
get
not.
under someone to get over him. That's no.
No way.
You're a pretty woman. You're a comedian. You live in LA.
You know you're going to do
you
so
have
much better
I'm
without
assuming
a guy.
massive ego, and it's a motherfucker. So you gotta fucking get some reins on it because to Becca's point, it will only happen again. You need to get control of that and to figure out why you're doing
there's
it
a
because
deeper issue.
You're just going to find something other to fill that ego void, and you need to recognize you need to fill it with something else.
Yeah.
And not validation from other guys, validation from yourself and friends. And it sounds corny, but no, you're enough. And, but that is true.
I love you, Gabby.
You got this.
Yeah.
You got this.
Yeah.
When Michelle doesn't listen to you complain anymore, it's my fault.
And this too shall pass. It's probably going to be shitty for 3 months. And then you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be like, oh, the sun is shining. The air is fresh and I am free.
Yes, it will be shitty for 3 months. Don't let it be shitty for 12 more.
Oh.
Because it will. That's on you.
You're going to have to deal with it one of these days.
Do you think he's ever going to reach out again?
It doesn't
Maybe.
fucking matter.
Maybe. And I
Yes.
know you want him to. That's the problem. I know you want him to. And I know you want to read that text. And I know you want to get the satisfaction from it. Stop.
Gabby,
He
we
will.
gotta go.
He will because he's bored.
All right.
We gotta go.
Good luck.
We love you.
We love you.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
Well, I mean, that's...
See how circular it was, though? That's how it is. At
Yeah.
the last question, is he going to contact me? It's like,
Here I'm like telling all these things. Rochelle's in the opposite room just cringing, just like...
I know it was breaking her heart.
I
She
know.
doesn't want to hear he's sleeping with other people.
And he is. He's definitely sleeping...
See, I told her, I'm like, I'm sure he really misses you and he's sad.
Stop telling her that.
That's that thread
He
of hope
doesn't
that you
miss her.
hold on to.
No, he's...
I know.
I mean,
you're right. You're right.
He misses
you're right,
her in
you're
their
right.
sense where he's like sitting around on his couch and like his first two options are busy and he's just like, yeah, I guess I miss Gabby. Yeah, sure.
See, you know what's crazy though is when he gets the sense and the vibe. This may not happen, but like if he gets the vibe that she's actually moved on, that's the minute he's gonna be like, "Let's get dinner. What are you doing tomorrow? Do you have plans?"
Yeah, and she really has to show strength in that point because he just, at the end of the day, guys are simple creatures, and when they really want to be with someone, they'll show it. They'll obsess over them. They'll lose their mind.
It's simple. It's not that complicated with guys. It's like they're either he's just not that into her.
Yeah, and, you know, I think that's the same with women too. But yeah, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
I'm Lynn. I'm 27.
Lynn, 27. How can we help Lynn, 27?
So I listen to your podcast a lot and I hear like questions. And I had this scenario that came up that I haven't heard you talk about before.
Ooh.
So basically, I'm 27. My husband's 28. We've been married for like around 5 years. And I have like a lot of guy friends. I'm a physician, so I work with a lot of men.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of women like getting involved in medicine, but still like predominantly a male-dominated field. And so I had like this male friend, and basically this scenario came up like a couple of weeks ago. My husband said, "Hey, I'm going to a work function," and he was like, "It's like with dinner, but like the spouses aren't coming, so if you wanted to make plans with any of your friends, like on Friday night, like I won't be there." And so I was like, "Okay, sounds good." So I saw one of my like male friends in the hospital, and him and I had been wanting to try this new restaurant in town. And I was like, "Do you want to go on Friday?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds good." And so we like went, and we've gone to dinner. Like him and I have hung out. Him and my husband have hung out. Like all three of us have hung out. He's actually dating a girl, and all four of us have hung out. And so like we went to dinner, and I didn't think anything of it. And then like halfway through dinner, he was like, "Hey, did your husband think it was weird that just us were going to dinner?" And I was like, "No, why?" And he was like, "Oh, well, like, let's call him Sam and like his girlfriend, Nikki." He was like, "Nikki was like pretty mad." And I was like, "Oh, really?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Yeah." And so I was like, kind of like, I don't know. I was like, I thought it was weird.
Yeah, sounds weird.
What do you, I mean, what do you,
What do I think?
I feel like, I don't know, maybe I was about,
How long have they been dating?
So I like 2 years.
Oh, that's a long
years,
time.
But it doesn't surprise me that I was about to say, and I was kind of thinking on my feet that I was wondering, do I think that, is it fair to say women would be have more of a problem with the scenario than men? But then I'm rethinking like, no, I think it has more to do with stability. And I don't think it's a coincidence that you and your husband are married and they are not. And so just by definition, in theory, you have more stability in your marriage than she might have in her dating. They're just dating, right? So,
Right.
And
she knows you? Like you guys have all hung out. Yeah, you said you guys have double dated.
Yeah, it's like we're not. So they're long distance. So I don't like see her near as much as I see Sam.
Okay, yeah, they're long distance.
She's feeling insecure.
She's projecting a little bit. Well, like your husband doesn't think it's weird, but I'm assuming you and your husband, like, and I'm not saying it recorded like a conversation or a talk, but it's just understood that you guys are all friends, right? Like he's very comfortable with your relationship with your friend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they have trust.
And they hang out, like Sam and my husband hang out like just me, like if I was working and busy. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I think it's a comfort level. When I was living in Milwaukee, my best friend and his wife, I mean, there would be plenty of times where her and I would get coffee or grab dinner. And like, it got to the point where like she worked at a salon. There were a couple people I'd walk in that thought I was her husband or whatever. And we would just all laugh. This is my best friend since I was in kindergarten. And
Right. Yeah.
and so it kind of reminds me of maybe something like that. but it is unique in a sense that like if people don't know the history, like it seems so laughable to the three of us because of that. But in an outsider point of view, it does sound, it is abnormal. Like you usually don't have that intimate of a friendship where if you just say, well, I'm to dinner with this guy, like, oh no, this is my friend, not my husband. It just kind of looks.
Yeah.
It looks, more people in that scenario when you see them are cheating, right?
Yeah. Totally. I get what you're saying. I have a platonic best friend. And when I first started dating my partner right now, and I'd be like, oh, Nick and I are going to the movies. He'd be like, not this Nick, different Nick, but he'd be like, oh, that's interesting. And he had to like develop trust and all that kind of thing. But this girl's probably feeling insecure for totally unrelated reasons because they're long distance and all that.
I mean, that's the thing. You don't know. There's probably so much about their relationship. You have no idea. The fact that she is long distance, there's a natural insecurity there. So kind of your point, she might be projecting some insecurity.
It is a little weird to me that he, I don't know.
Asked? No, because...
No, I was going to say that he just was kind of like, well, no, I guess that's his right too. To be like, fuck it, I'm going to dinner with my friend. Like,
the only thing that's kind of weird to me, and I'm only using my personal experience for this, is that, the scenario that I brought up about my two friends who are married, like, I would never have asked her if he got upset because I would know he's not upset because I'm so comfortable in this little threesome friendship thing that I'd be like, oh, man, she's like... so-and-so's like frustrated because like I'm here with you and it's frustrating because obviously we're just friends. Like I wouldn't wonder if my buddy was upset. So it's kind of weird.
To be honest, like sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Yeah, please.
I was just gonna say, I don't even really think that he was worried about my husband because of that. I think that he was trying to like bring up the
conversation.
He knew that I was gonna ask why, right?
Yeah,
he knew I was gonna be like, why?
Okay.
And then he was like, well, Nikki was really mad. And I was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. Like, I had no idea we've done this because I've been friends with like Sam for like 4 years. So the whole time I've been married, we've done like gone out to dinner, just the two of us, like multiple times. Like I've never thought anything of it. Even when he's in this relationship.
Have you asked him about his relationship?
That was like his way of bringing it up.
Did you ask him about his relationship? Kind of like what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does he want? Like, does he want to beat her?
I was like, well, what did you tell her? And he was like, oh, I told her that like, we've never like been romantic, that I'm friends with your husband, that like we've all gone out, like what's changed kind of thing. And she was just like, well, and then he said that she actually felt better about it. And then she talked to her sister. And then apparently like her sister had her on speakerphone with like all these other friends. And these friends were like, it's weird that they're like going to dinner together. Like that's so weird.
No, she's got a birdie in her ear.
Upset, I guess.
Well, again, like at face value, like, devil's in the details, right? Mm-hmm. You could tell this story and leave out just a few small details, and like
it's gonna look fishy.
Traditionally, a married woman going out to dinner with a guy who's not her friend, with a coworker, sounds fishy. For sure. If those are the only details you have, it sounds fishy.
Yeah, obviously her sister doesn't know about the context of their relationship.
So like she's telling the story from her point of view, already insecure, and then God knows what her sister's been through. Who knows? All these other women maybe have dealt with some guy doing some shit. And here you guys are like laughing at a scenario in which you and this friend would ever be involved romantically. Right? And so he just needs to... He needs to establish trust with this girl, and if, like, it's more like I feel like we should get him on in a sense because he probably has more confusion about, like, my advice to you is, like, just don't let this affect the friendship. If you do...
Yeah, I just, like, deferred to her. I was like, whatever she's comfortable with is what I'll do. Like, I don't...
defer to her.
That's great.
Well, to a certain extent. I mean, I mean, listen...
being a good friend.
Sure, but I'm thinking about my friend, like... my friends that I had, they were two of my closest friends. Like, we're family. It's like going to dinner with my sister or coffee.
That's how.
So if I want to sit there and be like, I can't get coffee with you because like some girl you're dating who lives in fucking Cincinnati isn't comfortable with it, like, you know what I'm saying? I do think.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. But
yeah. So here's what I think. What you can do and what you can maybe have control over is next time she's in town, make it a priority. To get coffee with her and just be like, listen, I get where you're coming from. I just want you to know.
Yeah, but don't you think she would feel some type of way that her boyfriend was telling her that she felt that way?
I mean, listen, if you can't...
So I actually asked him,
I was like, are you going to tell Nikki that
Yeah.
that you told me? He goes, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I think that's the right thing to do because I feel like it's awkward if you don't.
There's no secrets here.
So-
Like, that's the thing. This is all like we're all
reason
friends.
to
Yeah.
make secrets.
And like,
exactly.
she shouldn't.
We're all adults.
She
I don't
shouldn't
know.
feel judged for being insecure because, again, at face value, it's a potentially weird scenario, but like the devil's in the details, and she just needs clarity on what this relationship is. So no secrets need to be kept, but like next time you see her, she just needs to really understand the friendship and know that there's no reason to be insecure.
Yeah.
That's it, you know? And right now she's just confused and she's getting a lot of bad advice from a bunch of people who've gotten snippets of the scenario and the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's helpful. Thank you.
Best of luck. Yeah, but no secrets. Like, there's no reason for secrets. This, that's
Great.
That's how things get real messy and confused. Don't make her feel judged.
Yeah,
It's not
don't
like-
make her the devil.
Yeah, it's totally reasonable that she has these questions. She just needs clarity on what the scenario is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
All right. Thanks for listening. Take care. Best
Bye,
of luck.
Lynn.
Thanks for being a doctor.
So I have all these friends from college, guy friends that literally like they're my brothers and they're all getting married now and their like fiancés are so weird to me. And we were at a wedding and it was like the very end of the night. It's like 2 a.m. and I like jokingly like straddled my friend.
Oh.
And she freaked out. And I was in my head, it was so confusing because I was like, I would rather eat my own vomit than see him naked. And you think I'm like coming on to him?
I gotta say, like being a new girlfriend though, sometimes like with a boyfriend that has really close girlfriends, I'm like, you gotta suss out the situation.
You
man. You gotta
do.
be like, what is this bitch's intention? Like,
totally.
my man, I may not be insecure with him, but like, what is she doing hanging around him for the past however many years?
It's that
You
classic
know?
line, I'm not worried about you. It's all these other bitches out there that I'm worried about. Like the dude, like I'm not worried about you, baby. All these guys want to fuck you. Like if you're not careful, you're gonna find a dick inside of you real quick, and it's not gonna be your fault. It'll be their fault.
You gotta suss it out.
You really gotta be on your toes. But that's the thing. Listen, we all know cheating happens. It's out there, and at face value, like these scenarios are weird.
Yeah, and you gotta have boundaries. Like when you gotta respect someone's relationship too. Like even if you are that friend, like I'm not gonna. Like I have a friend where we always like put our arms around each other and it's like super platonic. But like if he has his new girlfriend there, I'm not going to be like, how are you, Harrison? Like, cuddling up to him and like walking around arm in arm. Like that's not going to make her feel good,
Right,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, but that can happen. I mean,
Yeah, I
They
just
just-
think it's not very like.
they just have to know.
It's just funny when your mind's not there
No,
at all
no,
and you're
no.
like, what?
Yeah, it's like,
No.
huh? I'm thinking of
Gross.
I'm thinking of my friend and then talking about, and again, like we've had dinner together, and
Yeah.
I mean, they live in Milwaukee, so it's been a while, but there was on a regular basis, I was like, hey, do you want to grab dinner?
Yeah.
They have kids now, but like before they were just a married couple with no
Right.
kids and a
Yeah.
lot of free time, and when he was busy and we were bored, we'd like wait for him, like meet us for a drink. Like
Yeah.
it was like,
Totally.
and to that point, like the idea of like anything intimate for the two of us, we would both be like, huh?
No.
But yes, like but she's also a beautiful woman. And if a new girl who had no context about the relationship, she would be like, what the fuck are you guys going out to dinner all the time
Yeah.
for?
Yeah.
Anything you want to admit? So it's clarity.
Yep.
How's it going?
Good. I'm Helen. I'm 27.
What's your name?
Helen.
Helen.
Yeah.
27. Helen. What a lovely, where are you from, Helen?
I'm from England,
Ooh.
like Midlands.
Yes, worldwide. How can we help, Helen?
A bit of a long story. I'm not sure how much information to give you.
Try to focus on the important details, and then we'll ask follow-up questions if we need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like I met my ex-boyfriend while I was at uni, and it was like good for a couple of years, and then it got really crap for a couple of years. So
Wait, is uni
like-
high school or college? Sorry, I don't know.
University?
Is uni high school?
uni college, sorry.
Okay.
University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I ended it with him, but it was like semi-mutual. Like we kind of both knew it wasn't working,
Sure.
but we owned a house together.
Oh, shit.
So
Tough.
we like had to live together for like 6 months. And during that time, I was like, oh, let's just be honest with each other about anything. Like, we can date if we want to, but just be honest because we're living together. And then found out he'd been seeing a girl for a couple of months. So I was like, you need to move out. Like, if you're going to lie to me, get out.
Okay, so he wasn't really honest. You had to find out that was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I found out because I'm quite good at sensing when someone's lying. So
Sure.
I found out. Well, I thought I was anyway. And then, like, a couple of months after that, I found out from my then best friend that he, like, cheated with her several times during the course of our relationship.
I am so sorry.
So you got cheated on twice at the same time.
Well, they were broken up.
No, but I'm saying, like, to find out that information, you get cheated on by like two people that you love
yes.
betrayed your trust. That's hard. That's
like, it was a betrayal both times, but obviously, but that was all like I found out 2 years ago. Like, we've been broken up for 2.5 years, over that even. And basically, I feel like I'm kind of stuck in this, like, can I swear?
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, I'm stuck in this really shit place where, like, it sounds really bad, but I kind of hate men.
Yeah.
Because my boyfriend before him was awful as well. So I'm like, I want to have a family and stuff, but I just really don't know how to get myself out of this negative mind space.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, it's always really important when we get hurt by the people we love to not project it in our next relationship. I mean, listen, there's a lot of shitty people out there. And in this scenario, if there's one takeaway from your friend being a part of this shitty scenario, is that it wasn't just the guy being shitty. It was also, I'm assuming she's a woman. It was, people can be shitty. So, try to be mindful of, a man hurt you, sure, and if you keep dating and put yourself out there, it won't be the last shitty guy you meet.
Yeah, that's scary.
You just have to try to, not dwell on that. Meeting two guys. You said your last one. I mean, listen, not to make you feel better, but you're not the only one who's back to back had two shitty boyfriends.
Have you been dating since? Have you been going on dates, and, like, how has that been going? If so.
No, I've literally, I've been on one date since, and that was bad as well. And, like, I'm not really one for dating apps, but I can't really get in that mindset. It doesn't really work for me. So
I think you're stuck in a rut, obviously, as you said, and to get out of it, you're gonna need to kind of fight it, right? Because right now, when we're stuck in ruts, like, we kind of do the same thing over and over, and yet then we convince ourselves that we know what we want. And I'm not saying you don't. You get some clarity on the thing and the bad, but you get a little too comfortable. Then you say no more than you say yes, right? You're going to have to say yes to some new things at the risk of those new things not going well. It's like, I'm a creature of habit. I go to the same restaurant, I get the same dish. And once in a while I branch out and be like, I'm going to try something else. And then I don't like it. Well, fuck it. Why did I do that? But that's okay. Because maybe the dish I love now at the restaurant I always go to, they got a new chef and it's not quite as good as it used to be, and it's okay. And so I'm going to have to try some other dishes, most of which I won't like, but I got to in search for the one I really do. So you're going to have to.
Okay, wait, how old are you again?
27.
I know you said you want to have a family and you want to settle down on that, but, like, do you want to be dating right now? Like, do you want a boyfriend or partner right now?
Well, that's the problem. I was saying to my mate the other day, I don't think I want a boyfriend. I really don't. But, I know you talk about a lot on the podcast, like, how people get to 25 and they're like, oh, I thought I'd be, like, married with kids at this stage. I definitely have that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I want to be like a youngish mom. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're still very young.
Yes.
So you're fine.
Yes. Can I say a little cliche? I think that a lot of people say, you, like, meet the right one when you least expect it, or, like, something cheesy like that. And I think that I feel like I gave this advice to someone else earlier, but I think maybe you really need to, like, focus on you. Like, are you investing time in, like, your hobbies right now? Like, do you have stuff outside of work that you like to do in like communities?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, I feel like a lot of my hobbies and like my job and my lifestyle in general is quite isolated. So
yeah.
I'm not sure how I would meet someone. Like, I've got hobbies, but they're all kind of like one person, and my job, it's just me. So
I know Becca asked if you want to date. When you say I don't really want to date, is that out of fear? Because I'm actually getting a sense that you do want to date, but you're afraid of
being hurt,
and you're afraid of the mess that is inevitably dating. You know, you're like, if you're dating in the sense, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to meet some guys, like maybe 1 out of 5 is going to be decent, you know, on a drinks with a guy. Like that's a good run, you know? So like dating can be messy. And right now, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you've been hurt. You have these guys and you just want to win, you know, like a win, like you just want like one good experience. And I think you're being harder on yourself and hard on like just needing it to be a great. I think you know, maybe it's, and I think right now you're thinking it more on a macro level. And I think your great is just like, I'm looking for my husband per se. I feel like you're kind of focused on that and try to have smaller wins, you know?
Like maybe just have fun.
Yeah,
like have a date, even if it's just one date, like have someone that you feel like you have fun with.
Maybe it's,
even if you never see him.
Maybe it's a guy who's kind of weird, you're not into, but like he seems like a nice guy. It might turn into a friendship.
And he maybe made you laugh and you know,
exactly.
like.
You saw a good movie.
Yeah, totally.
You know, he sucked, but it was, you know, like those little things, you're just in a kind of a negative mind frame, and I get why, and I can totally understand, but you need to try to do things to think more positive.
You got to get glimmers of hope.
Yeah.
Get that little hope wherever you can glean it from, you know?
Because this whole, like, I'm getting older, I'm not going to be a young mom, guys are shitty, et cetera, like, that's, I don't want to sound, but that is life, you know? But there are good guys out there, and there's good people to meet, whether they're for you or not, and you have to be willing to shift to the bullshit. Like, great things aren't just standing outside of your doorstep saying, find me. And that's whether that's guys or jobs or anything, you know?
Yeah.
The reason why the good ones are harder to find, because there's a lot of shit out there.
You could give yourself like a fun challenge. Like maybe you could get on Bumble and be like, okay, I'm going to accept one date every 2 weeks. Like I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And like, it's probably going to suck the first few times, but you may have that one time that like you have fun.
Yeah.
And then you have that glimmer of hope.
I totally agree. And if you don't want to go on a dating app, fine, but don't not go on a dating app because you thought you would never be the girl who would ever have to go on a dating app to meet a guy.
Yeah. It's 21st century.
It's 2019. You know, at 20, you were like, I'm going to meet a guy at a coffee shop, and we're going to fall in love, and we're going to have a kid at 25. And that didn't happen. But you know what? That doesn't happen for anyone anymore, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But to Becca's point, you know, have some fun.
Go out. Do you have like friends you could like go out to like a trivia night at a bar, or like, you know, go out like bowling, do something fun and like something social where you can just like, not with the goal to like meet people, but just like see what happens and just have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I try to. Like with dating apps, I'm kind of having a break from them because I am just being. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or what it is.
I mean, without spending too much time with you, one thing I think you are doing wrong is you're putting way too much pressure on immediate return. You're putting way too much pressure on like your life coming together the way you hoped it would when you were 26. You know, you're just putting so much pressure on that, and you probably have some pain from being hurt and that's understandable. And your friend, you feel betrayed.
You got to let go of the expectations.
Try to reset and just, again, you know, small wins. You know, this is not about finding your husband tomorrow. It's about, like, kind of to Becca's point, just have a nice day, you know, like, and just go from there. You're not doing anything wrong other than you're putting way too much pressure on yourself.
And possibly on the people you interact with.
Well, you do that kind of as, like, once you put pressure on yourself, then all of a sudden you're just projecting that, and you feel like...
And you may be going into dates and going into experiences with the expectation it's going to suck. And like maybe flipping that script on yourself, you know?
That too. And if you do, like, if you can say to us, well, I kind of feel like I hate men, guys will sense that. You know, guys don't want to go on a date with her, like, I feel like she hates men. I'm not seriously, like, guys can sense that, and that can be a little intimidating, and like, I don't know, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
So
I really give off the vibe of I hate men. Like, I went out to like some clubs with my friend the other day, and she like had a go at me. She was like, "Oh, you know, and of course no one's going to approach you if you're giving everyone evils." And I was like, "I'm not giving anyone evil looks."
Listen, as someone who has a great resting bitch face, maybe just go out and try to like honestly think about smiling when you're out, and just it's tough. I mean, I struggle with it, but
I think you could set fun little goals. Like, I'm gonna try to like. If you go out with your friend to a club, be like, I'm going to try to get someone to buy me a drink. Or like, I'm going to try to like, I don't know, just like for fun, not like for pressure, but be like, I'm going to dance with like one person I don't know. Like just like for fun.
Totally. Flip the script. Like stop trying to, this whole like being saved mentality of finding your guys so you can have your family. Like kind of to Becca's point, have fun, take control. Like, be the person who's just out there, like, getting to know guys, like, getting to know different people without the expectation of, is he safe for me to give my heart to? Because I feel like right now you're going out there with that hope and that vibe of, like, I'm trying to find a human being who won't break my heart. And that's a lot of pressure to try to do that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's easier just to say, well, they all suck and no one's going to do that. So... Yeah. Just, a guy, to Becca's point, maybe he wants to dance. And that's all he's good for. That's all I need him for is just to dance.
Or maybe he just wants to see you having fun with your friends.
Yeah.
So just be like, I'm here to hang out with my girlfriends and drink. And I'm not going to worry about
Find a movie buddy. Start looking for guy friends. Maybe. I wouldn't normally say that because a lot of times we are so quick to make friends with the opposite sex and not date. But maybe you need to like make some guy friends and build up that trust with men and just build some relationships with guys that you're not necessarily putting so much pressure. Like every guy needs to be a guy who won't break your heart.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem as well. Is because I moved to where I live for my ex, and like my family are here, but I really don't have many friends around. Like I have maybe 2 friends around, and like
I would start focusing on friendships again. Yeah.
I mean, that's so hard. Yeah. That's a whole other topic, though. How do you start making new friends, like in general?
The same way. You kind of have to put yourself out there. You have to be able to have the awkward getting to know you conversation. Like, I mean, women to women, guy to guy. There's like almost like a first date with a potential friend. Be like, hey, are you like a cool dude who's kind of also single who like wants a guy in their life, kind of buddy?
I've always met people through activities, so like maybe you need to find that like that community of activity in order to like branch out and meet people. Like for me, I like to rock climb, so whenever I go to a new city, I start going to a rock climbing gym and I just talk to everyone I can, making small chat and like see what happens. So maybe you need to find something like that. Some cool cooking class, like some sort of club.
Everything I do is so like me on my own.
Yeah.
Get creatives.
You gotta
try something new,
yes.
like a new activity or something. Like get creative. Do a little brainstorming session.
Totally. I think I don't want to discourage you from dating because I think ultimately that's what you want, so that's a good thing. But I think right now the focus is on you getting out there, saying yes to things, not saying no to things, meeting people. Just you need to kind of change your routine, and your routine right now is really kind of getting you into a dark hole of kind of self-loathing and self-pity, and you have reasons to feel sad, but like at this point you need to mix it up.
Yeah,
I know. I feel like I've been sad for a little bit too long, and it's getting a bit pathetic at this point.
Is that your dog in the background?
Yeah.
I mean, you go to a dog park and like talk to people, like say hi. There's like so many little ways that you can just like get your foot in the door. And even just like, even if you don't become friends with somebody right away, sometimes it's a confidence booster just to have a 5-minute chat with someone and be like, okay, that went well. Like I can do this.
Yeah.
I can like meet new people and make new friends and do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
You're not, and I say this not to sound dismissive of your broken heart, but you're not the only one's gotten their heart broken. And it happens, and it's okay. And I say that because don't want to judge yourself. Like you're in this kind of rabbit hole. I'm guessing you probably judge yourself a little bit. You're just downing yourself. You're judging men. It's just, you kind of have to think of it as like, hey, this shitty thing happened, and that's okay. I'm going to learn from it, but I'm going to try to learn from it rather than let it get me down.
Yeah.
Because you can learn from it, and maybe you look back and you think of all the red flags that were going on in your relationship and your friend and things like that. And so not to become cynical or paranoid, but just to be more mindful in the future.
And seasons pass and you get out of ruts,
I didn't see any like
signs at all, and it's made me like doubt my like if I can see a good person or not.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. You don't trust your own instincts anymore, you know? It's hard.
I think two thoughts to that. One, some people are really good liars, and that sucks. But also, I think you'll be surprised in the future. You didn't see it then because you didn't experience it.
But to that, you want to make sure she's not paranoid where she's looking to see if everyone's lying.
Well, when it comes to whether trusting your gut or being paranoid, it's, are you looking for the problem, or does the problem kind of find you? Where you're like, you know, you're dating someone new and they do something, and you go, wait, okay, I trust you, but like this feels off.
Yeah.
As opposed to the paranoid person is just like, wait, where are you going? What are you doing? Who are you with? Who are you going out? Why are you staying out so late? Like, there's a difference between that.
Yeah.
So, but you just right now, you need to change your routine.
You're going to get out of this rut.
Yeah.
Seasons.
Small wins.
Seasons pass.
Stop saying yeah, say yeah. You know, like literally, it's kind of sounds cheesy, but you really need to have conversations with yourself about what do you do when you start feeling down? You know, like you need to then immediately change whatever you're doing.
Smile at people.
Don't let yourself constantly ruminate and criticize exes and men. Let that go.
Yeah.
And start making some friends.
Experience like avoid men for the next 6 months plus.
No, don't avoid men. Become friends with them.
Yeah.
You know, take it slow, but you should definitely start meeting more men, even if it's in a friend capacity.
Yeah.
Just put less pressure on what that relationship is.
Get yourself out there.
All right. Well, best of luck. Thanks for calling. I think you're gonna be fine.
You're gonna make it.
You can do this. Trust me. You can.
Guys, your help.
All right.
There's
thanks
a
for
light
calling.
at the end of the tunnel. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm like, do they have dog parks in England? I'm like, is that a thing?
Have you ever seen 101 Dalmatians?
My biggest takeaway of these calls, it's like the ruts. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. I get in my own ruts too. And like your friend, our last caller, it's like she knew and she knows, but we just like, and I do it too. I mean, like I get in these ruts and I like ask myself, why do I keep doing the very thing that is making cause pain and things like that? And it's just, it's figuring that out.
It's hard to feel hopeful sometimes, you know. If it's like just feels like life keeps hitting you. You're like, is this ever gonna like turn around?
I don't know the solution, but the things I try to do is, if I try to think too on a macro level or a bigger scale, hope feels impossible.
Yeah.
In a sense of like, I hope I meet all of my career goals, and I hope I meet my relationship goals and my family. Like, and I think of that all at once. That sounds hard.
I think what you said about like the small goals and like small wins, I think that applies to everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you know?
Hope's a little bit more attainable when like my only hope is to like have lunch later.
Yeah, and it like it applies to everything. Even if it's like my house is a freaking mess. Okay, well I'm gonna like unload my dishwasher. Boom. Yeah. Did one thing. Like, I mean, it's like you gotta own it.
Sometimes you have to get that granular to.
You do.
Because like, yeah.
Otherwise you get paralyzed and you're like frozen. You're like, I can't move.
I'll never find a guy. It's, that's.
You start thinking about kids.
Kids.
Mom. No. I'm like, that's too much.
It's way too much. And all he got, So.
Also, who wants to be a young mom?
Bekah, thanks for joining. I'm so glad that you
Thanks for having me.
Hi. Remind people where they can find you.
Well, Chatty Broads podcast, and obviously Instagram at Bekah, BEKAH.
Formerly, what's your sign?
R.I.P.
Thanks for playing the good cop today.
Yeah. Thanks. I was in a good mood. So I was just like, you've got this, girl. Take a yoga class.
Why are you in such a good mood?
I don't know. I'm just having a good day.
That's awesome.
I'm just not in a rut for some reason.
Well, that's great.
It's very up and down, you know. Some days you wake up and it's just better than other days. I don't know.
That's so true. Well, guys, thanks for listening. As always, sending your questions to asknick@castmedia.com. Cast with a K. Don't forget to give us 5 stars if you're so inclined. We will see you Wednesday. Have a great day.
Bye.